some few examples. You see, when Liberia was heavily indebted in 1920 to 1923, it was at which time Marcus Garvey was leading the movement of Africans to return back to create a state in Liberia for all the slaves that were taken out to come back and settle in Africa. What Marcus Garvey did, knowing the setup of how Africa has been split and broken into 54 pieces, which simply means that the poverty in Africa is the inability for the member state to seek support from one another. That is the only poverty crisis we are having today in Africa. What he did is that he rallied the diaspora and raised $1.2 million in paying the debt at which time Liberia was owing to foreign communities. What am I simply trying to say? They realized that the movement of Marcus Garvey was going to give the Africans self-sufficiency and self-reliance, where they did not need to depend on Paris Club, World Bank, IMF. Why were all those structures created on the behalf of Africa? Was to indebt Africa. And why is it that the African member states are unable to collaborate among themselves? We saw it because each of them are indebted to the IMF, the World Bank, Paris Club, and other foreign banks. Let me put it that way. So the Africa, it is that body, Mr. Kumnyona, where it is broken down, where a part of that body cannot function as a sovereign state. To find an African head of state who is running a nation in the absence of the diaspora and the unification of all the other member states is another form of witchcraft. In other words, you are trying to occupy or possess your father's property in the absence of other children. This is the way we see Africa today. So what this country has, this other country does not have. And what this other country has, this other country does not have. So in other words, if they are going to emerge, they will need to come together because it is a body. These are not individuals. It's a body, complete human being. They break into pieces. We call it Mother Africa. It's a woman. They have broken her into pieces. A hand has become now a head. A leg has become now a head. That's why Africa today is like a monster. All kinds of civil conflicts, all kinds of weapons are in Africa today because why? They are trying to run Africa individually like private owned state companies on the behalf of those that have broken Africa down. And that is why we are saying that if we are going to move further, Mr. Kumnyona, Africans in the diaspora of 3.5 billion Africa, even if they donate $1, how much are we talking about?
Okay.
We can clear our debts if we unite. We can free ourselves away from the bondage of the IMF and the World Bank and Paris Club if we come together and seek solidarity among ourselves.
Okay, we have all it takes. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I am enjoying your